Welcome to the channel. Today we're talking about property. Your girl got a flat. I am a landlady. I'm so excited. Like, this is one of the reasons why everything that requires consistency in my life has just been up and down, because the process, it drains you. And I chose to buy a complicated flat, which was, do I recommend? Do I not? Like, once you find something you love, you know, once you decide you want it, once I decide I want something, that's it. But it was a very, very, very up and down process. And the end was very tense because I was approaching my mortgage offer expiry date. And also there'd been a lot of turmoil in the process, people backing out of what they say they're going to do, people straight out denying what they say they're going to do. Estate agents, my estate agent, I thought when I went to view it, if it wasn't, I'd already fallen in love with the location, with the size. Okay, so context. I got a 3-bedroomed flat that's split between 2 levels. I fell in love with the size of all the rooms. All the rooms are massive and it's in town center. And it was very evident that the lady, I bought it from an elderly lady. She clearly just wanted to get rid of this flat, and I can see why. She was old. I found that she was an elderly lady because the estate agent was trying to make me pay for costs, service charge costs, building renovation, building improvement costs that added up to 8K, that he was trying to say on her behalf that I should take them on. And one of the lines he said is, she's an elderly lady, she's in her 70s, and she's just he tried to pull that one on me. And I said, well, I'm a first time buyer, I'm not trying to absorb 8K. What do I look like? Is it oil money that you think I have? Like, how can I just say, oh yeah, okay, yeah, since she's elderly, we'll pay her 8K then? No, sorry, that from the beginning had me feeling like, so I sent in an email like, I am not covering nothing, because I know this sounds harsh, but the letter about the renovations and everything was like sent in August, and this property was listed in November, October time. So what's that got to do with me? You obviously got this and then you decided to sell. And even, to be honest, even if the cost of renovations and whatnot had come, I don't think I would have absorbed that cost. I just didn't see why. I'm already buying. I'm already giving you plenty money. Anyway, this video is going to be information about what to look for within the process. There's plenty of videos that give you FYIs and just step by step, but I don't think they go into the nooks and crannies like I'm going to go into. So, and also there's going to be a little bit of venting, just a tiny guys, the process at the beginning of the process, like, it's cool, oh my gosh, my solicitors are so good, my solicitors, I think they could have been better. Personally, I think they could have been better. There was a lot of blind spots. There was a lot of me asking, okay, what's next? And I have notes. Let's stick to the notes. Shall we, OHLEEN? Stick to the notes. I saw this property. I liked it because it was in town. I liked it because it was massive. I liked it because I could see that it was sold as seen. There was sofas, there was furniture. So there's sofas, there's wardrobes, and there's a piano. I inherited a piano, guys. I'm so happy. I don't know how to play piano, but I guess I'm going to be learning now. Yeah. Anyway, I could see that she wanted to just get rid, and I used that to bargain. So one of the things that took time is I offered ridiculous amount. She rejected. She came back. I offered again. She came back. And then at this point, the director, the estate agent, was like, okay, she will accept this much. And then I went in under what she will accept by 5K, and she accepted, and the process began. 7 months it took. It took 7 months because I was insisting, not even insisting, I asked at the beginning, will you be happy to serve a Section 42 notice so that by the time we're done and complete, I can then carry on and complete the process to extend the lease? If you don't know about that, go and check out videos. There's plenty of other videos. I felt comfortable to go through that process, basically. I felt happy to do so. I felt happy to buy it at this price on these terms to this extent, right? Yeah, she's happy. We got it in writing, everything done. Proceeded. This man, this woman, and her solicitor backed out. They backtracked like mad. I've never seen anything like it. On a professional level, I've never seen so much higgy haga, so much just word manipulation in my life. Very, very unprofessional. So what I would say to that, tip number 1 from me, whatever you agree, whatever the estate agent says to you, write it down or in an email and send it back to them to say, is this our understanding? Because yes, they can still back out and lie or just deny or just be like, well, I can't do that anymore. But at least you're not mad. Do you get what I mean? Like, if I didn't have it in writing, I would think maybe I misunderstood something. Because, first time buyer and all, people do take advantage of that fact. They really do. If it wasn't that this flat was really at a bargain, I'd have left this stuff alone because it was stressful. But anyway, basically I say this to say, number 1, whatever you agree with the estate agent, get it in writing. Okay? Whatever you discuss. Even at their viewing, they sent one boy that had been 2 weeks into the job. All good though. You got your job, well done. But this brother didn't know nothing about the flat. Everything I asked him, he just said, I'll ask somebody at the office. And I realized, you know what, cool, no problem. I will list all my questions in an email. I'll send them and then you can answer them. And I sent them directly to the director because at this point I was dealing with the director. Okay, no problem. But whatever you agree, get it in writing. Send it and say, this is what we discussed. This is what I understand. Please confirm. For your own sanity at the very least, okay? And when it comes to also sending things in writing and confirmation, one of the things that I did was, because I was anxious. At this point, I was anxious. My deposit was taken on the 12th of May. Yep, 12th of May. My solicitors was like, they don't give their bank details in email in writing, because I was like, give them to me via email. And they were like, no, they don't do that. And I was like, you ain't gonna scam me of 15%. No. So I said, I'm going to send you £1 and then you're going to confirm receipt of the £1 in the bank account that you gave me over the phone. And then once you've confirmed receipt, I will then send you the rest minus my £1. So that's what we did. Sorry, I've never sent that much. I don't know you never know. I might send bigger amounts later on in life. Maybe next year, maybe next week. Basically, get it. Sorry, I'm playing. Get it in writing. Okay, get it in writing. The other thing that I got in writing was, what was it? Money. You see people through money. This woman, the ex landlady, had been ignoring bills. She clearly hadn't lived there. I think the stairs. So the building is on the 3rd floor. And there's no lift. And I get it. She's elderly. She probably just had enough. And it was evident she hadn't been living there. The dust. It was dusty, but it wasn't dirty. You could tell that she was a clean lady. She was a bougie lady. She had phones and you could tell she was trying to live the life in that flat. Anyway, I digress. But I'm saying this to say that she ignored letters, and she ignored letters about changing doors, the service charge stuff, the decoration stuff that she was trying to put on me. Did I tell you about that? I'm not sure if I told you about that, but basically, if I hadn't, the estate agent was trying to tell me that I need to consider the fact that she is elderly, and so I should just absorb the 8k that is being charged towards decorations and renovations of the flat. And I was like, no, I'm a first time buyer. I don't have a spare 8k. Are you mad? Like, I know it was going to go on my, no, it would have just not made sense because it would have been deducted from how much I'm borrowing. And no, basically no. Anyway, she was ignoring this letter. And then finally she wanted to put it into the purchase process. And I said no. She also ignored other letters about the change of doors. They want to update the door to standard fire door, and I found this all out after I'd collected keys. So basically, ask: are there any outstanding letters or bills on a property? Just and ask in writing, because at least you will have, if you decide to challenge it later on, you will have that proof right at the beginning. Also ask, what will be included on the final statement? Because one of the things that wasted our time is this lovely lady. of a solicitor, of the seller's solicitor, was trying to say, because I inquired about extending the lease and she gave advice and she commented and whatever she did via email, I should then pay £500. I said, excuse me. So she was refusing to give us the statement because she wanted us to agree that the statement will be included. And this was now final days, mind you. Like, this was approaching the 12th of May when I finally sent my deposit. And I was like, no. But no. At this point, it wasn't even about the money. It was just the principle. They were trying to take the piss. And I'm like, why am I paying for something that you didn't do in the end? Why should I pay? Why? And literally, I felt like they were trying to, I guess maybe the average person would look at, okay, what's £500 as opposed to the property, the weight. But I thought they were trying to disrespect me, and I couldn't have it. I just couldn't. And I was just like, no, and so it took a week and a weekend for us to finally agree that I'm not paying this money. And if you insist that I must pay this money, I'm out. And this is another tip that I'll give. You know, when they say don't make emotional decisions. This might seem like an emotional decision, but I think I would say be willing to walk away if things are just going in a direction that you can see you're being taken the mickey out of. Because why should you be disrespected through just because you want to buy something from somebody? They're already making some money from you. Why should I be disrespected in that process? And why should I be made to feel like I made a mistake or I didn't understand? You shouldn't be made to feel that way. Okay, anyway, I sound like a therapist, but bad therapist, probably. Too much emotions right now. But if it doesn't feel right, be ready, be willing to step out. Don't step out of your relationships, but as in like leave, as in just be willing to walk away from the cell. Because I think if I was desperate, or if I really need, like if I'd got myself to that point, I think I would have tolerated so much. And I think they realized that I wasn't up for it. And in the end, they just said, okay, fine, it won't be included in the statement. Basically, all of this is to say, what's on the statement, find out before the statement is produced, because it will be too late by the time the statement comes out. It will be too much work to get it to. And you don't want to exchange, because at that point, you can't back out. There will be major fees if you back out. Okay. Other costs. Your deposit is not all that you need. Your deposit is not all that you need, or you need severe fees. They're not expensive. I paid $250. You will need to pay your broker upfront for the searches. I think I paid around £400. I can't remember. You will need to pay your brokerage fees, and sometimes they're not included in. So they're separate from what. So the lender will give you a certain amount. If you're utilizing all of that amount, there won't be any left for it to cover any other expenses such as your brokerage fees. And sometimes brokers will make it very clear to you that this is payable upfront, not included in the mortgage, in the amount you're being lent, basically. Make sure you understand that clearly, because I had a bit of a ditzy moment with that. But it was good. It's cool. We handled it. We're good. But basically have extra money. Have an extra like 5k. Just for the process. Besides your deposit. I paid a 15% deposit. That was the requirement from my lender, because at that time the interest rates were mad and crazy, and they're about to get crazier. So I'm so grateful that I'm not in the system buying process right now, because it's just so volatile. Don't pay any broker upfront. Don't do it. So I first spoke to several brokers. The first one I spoke to, she sounded so good, so professional. Oh my gosh, sell on point. Obviously, she then got me to pay a commitment fee of £299. She said that commitment fee will be refunded or will be included in the total deductions at the end once the mortgage offer is pulled through. I said, okay, cool. You sound, they said the commitment fees because they get a lot of time wasters. It made sense. My issue came now when, first of all, they were not able to get me a mortgage. They were not able to get me a mortgage. That's a story for another day. And so I had to go to another broker who didn't charge me until the mortgage offer was produced. Not the principal offer, the mortgage offer, the actual offer. And so at the end, I was left feeling, why did I pay £300 when there's plenty of other brokers that will do it for free at the beginning? Yes, at some point you'll still pay, but you don't need to. And I say this to say, because I had big issues trying to get back my £300 because they said it's refundable should they not be able to get an offer for me, a mortgage offer. I said, cool. That I felt assured in that. Give me my money back then. The woman wasn't answering my calls. She wasn't returning emails. In the end, I had to go on LinkedIn, look for the head of each department, look for the emails, CC them in one email. Mind you, I had emailed her. She had been ignoring. She replied once saying she's looking into it. She'll come back to me ASAP. Never heard anything. Silence. And then finally I was like, she's trying to play me. £300 is a lot. I'm sorry. For me, if I could Anyway, I copied all of them. Within 5 minutes, so the head of operations, I won't name the company because I'm not trying to make this video about that, but the head of operations responded saying, we're so sorry, we had a problem with our banking system. Of course you did. And the money should be within 3-5 working days. It was in my bank account that very minute. It's just a shame I had to go through that. I find it embarrassing on their behalf. Like, £300 for you. Like, for me, it's a lot of money. For you, though, like, you were trying to, it just, Anyway, basically, don't pay up front. Don't do it. Oh, big one. So, obviously, as soon as your offer is accepted, you have to have a solicitor who issue a memorandum. I don't know who does it again. Like the two solicitors, the estate agent will have to issue a memorandum. Somebody has to issue a memorandum. You need to have a solicitor from the onset, basically. What did I do? I went online, looked for one that had good reviews, and then it turned out that one that I picked was not on the lender's panel. But we only realized that 2-3 weeks into the process, and this is one of the other things that wasted time. My solicitors were not on the lender's panel. And so you need to make sure that before you proceed with a particular solicitor, check with your mortgage lender that solicitor is on their panel. Basically, do that before you commit anything, before you go any further. Do that right at the beginning. Also, the solicitors that I did end up going with were recommended by my broker. I can't say that it was necessary for me to go with them. I can't say that they were the best. I found myself having to chase and ask, and if I didn't ask, I think my sale would have fallen through. If I didn't proactively chase, I became a nuisance. I'm not gonna lie, to the extent, like, for example, my ISA, I had money with Moneybox, and I had a lifetime ISA with them. So because it's Moneybox, some of the money is on the stock exchange, and so because of that, they said that it takes a little bit longer for the money to come out because it's not just sitting in a normal ISA, it's sitting in a stock ISA. So it took longer. So it meant that my exchange date got pushed from Friday to Monday to Tuesday because the money was not available to make up the complete total. But then my issue with that is, had I not asked them, what do I need to do to get my money out of my ISA? And should I do it now? I had to ask for that process to start. And this is where I say, I think my solicitors could have been better. And because we did it so late in the process, it meant that it collided with what we expected to be the completion date, and things had to be pushed forward, which was annoying for everybody. At this point, I got a threat from the seller saying the estate agent sent me a letter saying the seller is extremely, and what did he say? He said extremely and something disappointed because we couldn't exchange this Friday. And you can imagine my stress, right? Because I've mentally moved in at this point. I've given you my deposit. I literally just replied and I said, if she wants to put it back on the market, she's more than welcome to. I was fed up, guys. Like, I was over it. I was really over it at this point. What else? Make sure you get things in writing. Make sure you get, I don't know if I've already said this, but get whatever is promised, whatever is said, agreed, mentioned in writing, and get them to clarify. Bills, get them to confirm. This woman was ignoring bills. There was a bill for the door, and in the end, I didn't mind. I haven't even dealt with that yet, but basically, she ignored a lot of bills. And then by the time I got the keys, certain things will be obviously done from the date that I move in. Things like bills, water, electricity. But there's council related things like renovations and changing of the door. Anyway, it's fine. It's all good. I can handle it. Big girl now. Big girl now. Go and see the property twice. See it the first time, make an offer, go through it. That's fine. Go and see it again during the process. It just helps. And do not stop going for other viewings during the buying process, just in case. Now, you might feel like there's better out there even during the process. If you haven't exchanged, count your losses if it's that serious and go for the other one. What else? Don't be arm twisted into making decisions, because I feel like the people in the chain can have that tendency, and it was for me. I don't know, you let me know in the comments, did I go through a normal thing? Because I felt like my estate agent just had, and obviously they wanted the sale to go through, but I felt like they were more on the seller's side, and they would say anything to make the sale go through, but later on backtrack. To be honest, to me, I felt like they were dishonest, and I felt like they were unprofessional in their way of working. My solicitors, I felt they were very slow and not proactive. In the end, we had to come together to fight and they were replying to the same email that I'm replying to. We literally were in the end, but that was because I was chasing and I was pushing. I don't know if I hadn't done that, if my solicitors alone would have been able to make it happen. And I feel like it shouldn't be like that. As for the seller's solicitor, that woman, first of all, no issue at all with flexible workers, and I'm all up for it. I do it too. She worked 3 days a week. And so it meant if you sent her an email on the day that she's not working, if it collided with the weekend, you're not hearing from her between Thursday and Tuesday next week. It was so frustrating. And I get it, there's flexible, and I'm all up for it. But all of those things, basically keep them in mind. You know, when they say, a typical sale is between 3 to 6 months, you never think you are the one that's going to be 6 months. Just leave that possibility in there for yourself, because you just never know. Guys, I'm gonna cut it here, because otherwise I'll be talking, because this experience was but this is the first of quite a few videos when it comes to this house, because of course it's a project. I ripped out everything. There was wallpaper everywhere, even in the ceiling bowl. I ripped it all out. First I thought I could do it, and then I did one wall. I was like, I can't do it. I went to Rated People, found a few people, and then picked somebody who's currently still working on it. So I'm going to be vlogging all of that experience, and it's going to be a whole mini series on this channel. So if you like that sort of thing, stay tuned. So basically, I bought a project, complete door up. I've ripped out the kitchen, the bathroom, the carpet, the wallpaper, and I was gonna knock down a wall, but then anyway, we'll talk about that in another video. Basically, this is it. This has been 24 minutes. I'm out. If you have any questions, comment below. If I have said anything that is out of line, I apologize in advance, but at the same time, that's how I felt. That's how I feel at the time and now. But I hope it's been helpful. I hope you've taken 1 or 2 things. If not, at least you've heard me rant. Goodbye.